And I also, one of the things that really stuck out to me all those years ago when I was very first discovering their music was "We're Gonna Be Friends."
I love that song. Yeah.
This the
Mhm.
It's almost like a school child
Mhm.
kind of song. And it's one of the first songs I introduced our kids to when we were like, hey, we don't know the White Stripes. Who are you talking about? And I'm like, first of all, you do. You hear them all the time. um, I thought it was absolutely stunningly brilliant to do a song for kids
Mhm.
to help encourage children to be fans of rock. And I gotta say, it worked, man. Oh my God. I mean, I already know your current wife was one of them who was like all into it. And that's awesome.
Yeah.
But the kids are like still into it.
Yeah.
And that was spectacular. No one does that.
And again, because I wasn't the biggest fan of the White Stripes, I didn't even know that was one of their songs. And then we went back and watched the video of him just sitting there on a bed with
With
acoustic,
Meg asleep.
and then Meg is asleep like a little kitty
Adorable
cat,
on the
doing
couch.
her job because that's what she
Uh-huh.
part of her function in the band is. And it's a
Emotional
great song,
support
and
for
it
sure.
is what I also enjoy about that. Like you said, it's like you can hear that it's written for kids, but it does. This is where he reminds me of Paul McCartney, where there's just this bit of extra spark that he puts into his music and his songwriting that like kind of transcends time.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I appreciate about him and his endeavors. I guess since we're pretty far in, how much of the Raconteurs have you listened to?
Not too much. We watched that one documentary, and then Steady as She Goes was amazing.
Yeah.
And I hit a point in my life where I just kind of like wasn't turning to music as much because I was too worn down by the daily living.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and actually, that's the interesting thing to me about the Raconteurs is like me, a lot of my like metalhead friends, we weren't really into the White Stripes, wasn't our thing. But the Raconteurs, we all glommed onto right away because it was more of a, regular sounding, like kind of a classic rock band, 70s, 60s thing, and we all like Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath and all these other groups, Deep Purple, and that band was starting to get a little bit more. The Raconteurs was more like that, but particularly, yeah, that song "Steady as She Goes." Those lyrics are so subversive, almost like kind of like that's. I like that lyric. You've had too much to think, and now you need a wife. It's pretty hilarious.
Too much time to think. Now you need a wife.
And his sense of humor and his lyrics is something I've always appreciated.
Oh, I love it.
But that is I think what that album, what was it called? I'm going to look it up real fast. I got my Spotify brought up here. Pardon me. It came out on Broken Boy Soldiers, I believe. And that was, I think I did actually end up getting that album. That was the first Jack White album I got for myself. I believe I got it back in the iTunes days, back when I had my reliable iPod.
Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us on the nerdy side with Honey and Spanky.
Yeah.
And we are just so happy to be able to get nerdy with you and hope that you will please feel inspired to like, share, comment, subscribe, and maybe even buy us a coffee.
Yeah, we're having a great time doing this, and we appreciate everybody listening to it and everybody who's watched it, our video clips on YouTube. We'd like to keep doing it, and we'd appreciate any support you can give us, like subscriptions to our YouTube page. Follow us on Buy Me a Coffee if you feel like you can. Throw us a couple bucks. We understand that times aren't great economically, but any support we can get would be great from you. And thank you again for listening and watching us.
Thank you so much. We can't wait to visit again.
Yeah.